guys, Marcinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so we had the maintenance last night, and we have the data download that sort of came with it to show us what's going on for Global in the near future. Obviously, we knew about the World Tournament that had been announced already, and then we were essentially just waiting on confirmation of what the next release on Global was going to be. And of course, I mean, you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, if you haven't seen it out there already, of course, is the fact that it's going to be the Tech Super Trunks releasing on Global next, which is basically what we all assumed, but it is, of course, now official. So shout out to Proton, as always, for the data download breakdown thread. We're going to go through all of this. We have the times and everything for the release of the Trunks banner and all of that good stuff. So we're just going to sit and go through all of this very quickly right here. So obviously the celebration, like they basically all do now, has the promo movie that shows bits of the animation and stuff like that. Very cool. And then of course Tech Super Saiyan Teen Trunks himself, you know, starts off as just Super Saiyan Trunks, transforms into Super Trunks. The banner is going to be releasing on the 3rd of January in terms of UK time, right? 6:30 in the morning. That's the time that banners usually release. So, I mean, you'll probably know by now if you've been playing the game for a while what time the banners usually release in your time zone. I believe it's 10:30 PM PST on the 2nd of January, which is then what, like 1:30 AM EST on the 3rd. So the morning of the 3rd of January, obviously I will be live to summon for this guy. As much as Super Trunks is a very divisive unit. There are some people that really like him. A lot of people really don't like him. For me, it is definitely going to be one of those. I'll just get one copy as quickly as I can and then leave it at that. We'll see how we go. Then, of course, we have his banner unit, the STR Super Saiyan Gohan. I remember when he came out on JP, pretty much unanimous consensus from the community that he was terrible. So we're going to have a brief look at the card details after this as well. So if you've used him on JP, let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. We're also getting the Tech Super Strike Piccolo revamp, so we'll look at his details in a little bit as well. He's kind of an interesting unit. Unfortunately, he is just another base Piccolo, so I think we still have like the STR side banner unit one, the movie heroes like support one, who is probably still the best base Piccolo, but for a free-to-play unit, this guy's pretty solid. Then for New Year's, so this is on login at New Year's, we're going to get another one of these random, like, basically like the Beelzebub from the Sandland collab. It's basically just like a Hercule statue, right? The card doesn't do anything. It only exists to be sold. It's worth 8.18 million Zenny, apparently. But, like, it's a collector's card, right? Like, you'll get a copy of this, and you can't do anything with it. But if you sell it, then it's gone, and you can never get another one, which, I mean, it's not necessarily the end of the world because it doesn't do anything, but these kind of things, I always just keep these in my box, right? Like I have the Santa versions of the Kais from the previous years, like the Goku and like Roshi and stuff like that. So I would say, you know, unless you're really desperate for Zenny, just keep hold of this as a collector's item. So then we have the stage information for the Super Strike and the medals. Obviously Trunks gets a Dokkan event. Do they add, was JP already doing the missions to get extra medals for the side banner unit when Trunks came out? Someone can remind me down below in the comments if you're on JP or were playing at JP around that time. Because hopefully they do, right? So we don't have to do the stage multiple times. Dragon Ball Story, the GT Baby Saga. So basically one of the existing events is being repackaged into a Dragon Ball Story, which is good because the event basically gets reset and you can get a bunch of stones and whatnot. New battlefield reset, I think, because someone told me last time that it was going to be last time, but it wasn't. I think it's this one is the first reset where we get the new set of enemies, because it's been the same one for quite a while on Global, so I believe this is the one where we get a new set of enemies for the first time. Then we have, of course, the World Tournament. As we already know, this is going to be starting tomorrow, less than 24 hours from now. I will be doing a stream over the weekend. We'll probably do a couple of little streams like I do normally during the World Tournament, but we are going to be doing the big subathon thing on starting on Saturday morning UK time. Technically, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning PST, but it'll be 9 AM UK time. I'll be doing a subathon under the usual parameters, and the maximum time limit for the stream will be 24 hours. So if we hit all the goals, we will be doing World Tournament for 24 hours from Saturday morning to Sunday morning. So that should be fun. Make sure you guys check that out. Support memory from the GT story event is like Pan and Giru. Kind of weird, but you know. Dokkan Fest tickets as well. So this essentially guarantees or confirms. I mean, we could kind of guess at this point, right? Every single Dokkan Fest for Global has been getting tickets, but this basically just confirms that Trunks' banner is going to have tickets, right? So if we click over here to take a look at the Tech Trunks, he is a Mastered Evolution or Android/Cell Saga leader with an extra 30% going to Rapid Growth or Earthbred Fighters. So, I mean, the team has some pretty good options. Obviously, he came out before the Worldwide on JP, and then obviously Worldwide dropped LR Future Gohan as one of the Part 2 Carnival LRs, who is on Android/Cell Saga and Earthbred Fighters, and is still one of the best units in the game. So, like, Trunks' team definitely can be okay. I think people's biggest problem with Trunks is obviously in this current meta, he's a tech unit, and he doesn't do super well against AoEs. He has a chance to guard, which I think is the real thing, right? He has a high chance to guard, so only 50%, but you also have to have 3 Android/Cell Saga allies on the team in order for him to even get that ability. So not only do you have to build the team around him being able to get that, but then it's a coin flip whether you'll actually get it or not. So that can be pretty bad when you go into the tougher content. You get additional attack and defense on super, and then attacks effective against all types if there's a cell enemy, which is, you know, it's only like, what, a red zone stage, which is pretty outdated at this point. I mean, the final phase of that stage can hit pretty hard, but that cell can also be stunned, so that event is quite easy, or at least he can be stunned up until the end. But this guy gets good once he transforms, right? He can transform from the next turn after performing 5 or more attacks, or from turn 5, just guaranteed if there is a cell. But he gets a guaranteed additional attack anyway that has a great chance of becoming a super. And then, so you get 2 attacks basically guaranteed. And then on his next turn, you would get 2 attacks guaranteed. But he has an active skill that you can use on turn 3, which is an attack. So it greatly raises attack temporarily, does ultimate damage, disables an enemy action, so it will remove the first action of the turn. That counts as an attack, so after his second turn, even if you don't get any hidden potential additionals, he will have done 5 attacks. And then on his next turn you can transform. And when he becomes Super Trunks, this is where he actually becomes really good, right? He has a huge start of turn attack and defense buff. He gets guaranteed crits on his super. He gets an additional super and guaranteed guard for 3 turns. So that's obviously very good. Depending on your HP, he has much higher stats as well, an extra attack and defense up to 200%. Then he gets 100% attack and defense on super, and then he has an active skill attack as well. Can be activated when HP is 60% or more, so you can use it straight away on the turn you transform. And not only does it do damage, it's also a Ghost Usher, delay enemy attacks for 1 turn. And all of his attacks become crits, which, I mean, obviously his super attack is technically all attacks become crits anyway. But yeah, this is very, very good. Like the combo of his last 2 turns, right? You can use his active skill, get 2 supers with the base Trunks. Then he transforms into Super Trunks. You can use his active skill straight away to Ghost Usher. And then he does at least 2 super attacks guaranteed that are guaranteed crits that can hit some very high numbers. So if you're running double Trunks, then on the next turn, you're likely transforming the other Trunks and using his active skill, so you get 2 turns in a row where the enemy can't attack you, and you're just dropping like big attack stat supers. So Super Trunks is actually really good, but it's one of those things, how many times lately have we seen these units where once they transform, we're saying essentially like if this unit just started off as this guy, he'd be insanely good, but you have to get through like the base version first, get him transformed, and then he can be really good. I mean, his main liability is really going to be turn 1, and obviously AoE enemies, but I did mention it on stream earlier today, but there is a little part of me that's kind of excited to get him and just try him out in these events, you know, see if I can cook up a team for him where he can actually look kind of good, because I know a lot of people just really do not like this unit, so it'd be interesting to see if we can get anything going with him. And then we have the STR Gohan. He's a Heavenly Events leader. He greatly raises attack. He recovers HP. I'm guessing that's the start of turn, right? and then you get extra HP if you're at 40% or less. So he could give you quite a decent amount of healing. Attack and defense 140, 140 on super, additional attack with a great chance to become a super when HP is 70% or more, additional key and defense with each attack received, and then heavenly events or mastered evolution support. So I think the main issue is he builds up defense by getting hit, which is not really what you want, especially if he's a support unit that's going to be floating, like, because he doesn't raise defense on super. So whatever you see at the start of the turn, it's that plus the 140 on super, and then that's basically it, right? So I don't know. I mean, like, on reading his kit, he doesn't, it's not like I immediately read it and go, oh my god, he's absolutely awful, but he just doesn't do anything special. So, like, there are better super type support units that are not necessarily limited to certain categories. So yeah, he definitely does not seem very impressive, but like I said earlier, if you're on JP, let me know what you think of this Gohan if you've actually used him. And then the Super Strike Piccolo, raise attack for 1 turn, supreme damage. He gets attack and defense 100, an extra 100 when key is 9 or more. All allies attack and defense 20%, that's pretty good. Changes key spheres of a certain type to tech. For each key sphere obtained after the 4th, he gets attack and defense 20% up to 60. So it'll be 5, 6, and 7. So he needs 7 orbs to get the full buff. All allies key up to 3 and attack and defense up to 30. So if you get 7 orbs, he would then be giving all allies 50% support and 3 key, which is pretty good, but then it is that issue with, like, having a unit that's floating in slot 3. They create orbs, but then they want those orbs. It makes the turn a bit tricky. But I mean, it could be pretty good. Even if you're only picking up like 5 orbs, he's still giving everyone 1 key and 30% support. So I think for like newer players, this Piccolo would be really, really good. But obviously, if you've been playing the game for a while and you have units like the STR one, even like the physical Easy A one, even though he's not a support, it's just always been the problem with Piccolo until they brought out the LR that was Power Awakened, right? Is that they just always have all had the same name. But, you know, he's definitely pretty solid for a free-to-play unit. We'll definitely be, you know, awakening him up, doing the showcase for him, see how good he actually is. But, yeah, that is essentially everything from the data download. World Tournament coming up tomorrow, which lasts us throughout the weekend. That obviously takes us all the way up to, technically the World Tournament finishes on the 1st of January, early in the morning for me, late in the evening in the US. And then literally, you know, Wednesday morning for me, Tuesday evening for the US, Trunks is coming out. So we've got like one sort of gap day in between. But of course, we'll get all the World Tournament rewards on that Tuesday morning. Or is it actually, no, do they wait? Is it 24 hours you have to wait, or is it 48? I always forget with the World Tournament. And then, of course, we'll get the extra medals and stuff for all the World Tournament Easy A's. I'll do a video talking about all that, of course, the actual units that are coming with the World Tournament. That'll probably come out a bit later on today. But yeah, that's everything from the data download. Let me know what you guys think down below. Are you going to be taking part in the World Tournament? Are you just going to be ignoring it, especially over New Year? And are you actually one of the few people out there that is excited to summon for Trunks? Let me know down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.